Hi, today is the 16th of April 2020, and I'm reading on Tylee Vallow. I want to ask her spirit some things and if she's willing to open up. And if she's not able to, then the universe guides to help. I've been following the case somewhat. I am interested because it's so sad and it's so crazy. And as a mom, it's upsetting and shocking to me. But also from a psychological angle, I've always been interested in psychology, and her mom, very there's some really crazy stuff there, but I want to do a reading on her mom eventually as well. But I want this, her mother's a flaming narcissist, obviously. And I just feel so bad that she had to endure a mother like that. And ultimately, in my opinion, be murdered by a mother like that. Because I think in that relationship between Chad Dable and Lori Vallow Dable, I think Lori's family, her and her brother, have been killing people for a while, even their own sister. And I believe Alex may be responsible for this. There's something sketchy on a sister. They have a sister, Stacy Cox, and she apparently died of some sort of diabetic shock. But apparently there's some doubt now about that. So Alex has got a history of acting as Lori's tough guy. I was just catching up a bit here and reading up about the case because I kind of have to keep up in waves. There's, especially with heavy-duty emotional stuff like that. So I wanted, anyway, enough of that. Of Lori. I want to concentrate on Tylee. I just find it so odd. And watching some footage that has recently been released, you can see that she acts more like a mother to her mother. And I just find that relationship very interesting. And I just want to, I just feel compelled, and there's plenty of people that have been reading on this case, so I haven't really, I've put my energies elsewhere and just kind of kept up privately, and I haven't even read, I don't know if I've even read that much on it, but all privately. And this is so I just want to focus on touching in with this case just to see what I'm getting with regard to, I want Tylee to have a platform, and I want to give a platform to JJ too. And I want to see also if I think that their remains will be found. I do. I don't know when, but my intuition says, or gut says, yes, that they will be found. And maybe even, I don't know. I'll do a reading on that. I was going to say together, but I'm not sure about if they're together. I do get that they will be found. I've gotten the sun. And the sun card that I got, I just did a real quick reading last night. The sun card that with the deck I was using has a figure of a boy and a girl in it. And it just really felt strongly to me like JJ and Tylee will be found. Something will become clear. Their remains will somehow, be found. So that made me feel, with that kind of a strong, that for me is a strong read. So I do believe I can put stock in that. They will be found. I don't know when. I'd have to really hook my energies more into that. I've just, with healing, it's very tiring. Let me tell you. Your energy can suddenly drop. Healing is exhausting. So, I want to give Tylee a platform. I'm using the Ostara deck, and its cardstock is good, but boy, with my hands and breaking these puppies in. But it's of a good strong cardstock, not so unlike, but a little bit more resistant than the Bianco Nero deck, which is my go-to deck. I love it so much. I've gotten it nicely broken in. This one I'm still breaking in. It's breaking in me, I think. All right, let's get the chit-chat out of the way. Tylee, I ask for the spirits, helpers, ancestors, and Tylee, if she wants to show us how she's doing, what she might want to say, what she wants to relate. But it'd be better if I gave, and sorry about the noises, that's the wound vac. That is a wound vac. Helps you to heal. Okay, so Tylee. Tylee Vallow. Tylee Vallow. Tylee Vallow. Tylee Vallow. Let's see. Tylee Vallow. Oh, it's a little bit slippery, this deck. That's glossy finish and the gloss on this wood board. By the way, these are beautiful handmade boards. And I'll put another link in because I really want to give the person some business. For any readers, you can, check it out. Put it on your wish list. Tylee, how do you feel about your mom? What do you want to say about your mother? And how are you doing? What does Tylee want to share? And what is she wanting to share with regard to her mother? What does Tylee Vallow want to share with regard to her mother? And anything else? Okay, this will be the start. Okay, right here, with this deck, things are a little bit different. This is, again, the Ostara deck, and this talks about somebody that needs a lot of attention, just is chronically... this can be a positive thing, can be a negative thing, but this is already, as we can well imagine, it even kind of looks like her mother. Yeah, I don't know about the whole thing with the fish hat working out, but It's kind of a interesting deck. Anyway, this is a card of a female or an individual that needs a lot of attention. So I think she's speaking to her mother as being needy, thirsty for attention, having some kind of a chronic need of that. The Magician, manipulative, trickery. The Hierophant. This is, take a look at that, will ya? The whole religious angle here. Now, although their version of whatever she and Chad had cooked up, springing off of their LDS backgrounds, this talks about faith, belief, orthodox beliefs, but also just easily you can also go to cult with this. That fits right in there. And this religious belief, and the position of this being something that I think they were looking to spread a teaching of, and also the fact that this little cult seems to consist of Chad, Lori, her niece, her brother. I don't know if there were any others, but yeah, that fits. And that her mother's need of attention, she's got a personality that needs attention, and I think that the vehicle of any kind of belief system would be one that she would abuse and manipulate, and that's what she's done. And it stems, though, I believe, from her need of validation through having attention. Something very, very out of whack with her, that for being that thirsty, just desperately insecure, I suppose. So then there's going to the extreme of needing to be like a god, all-powerful, omniscient, but she's not. She's not. Because a god wouldn't act like she does. And she's full of shit, so sorry, Tylee, but yeah. Manipulative. What else does she want to say? So with regard to her mother, we get that manipulation through belief systems going on, and this chronic need to have the spotlight. There is some sort of, here there is some sort of block. Here there is some sort of, I think it's been blocked off. The message of something being blocked off. Ace of Cups. There's a lot of emotion. Okay, she's talking about a lot of emotion not being able to be expressed. Queen of Wands. And I don't know. Again, I think this might be this refers to an adult woman. I think it's still her mother, because this card is not a court card here. This is the Six of Wands. And this is, to me, her mother, who may well be a fire sign or have a significant fire sign situation in her chart. Regardless of whenever her birthday is and and all of that. She has more of a disposition of a Queen of Wands. Thus, it almost makes me want to say, is she a Leo or something? And no offense to any Leos out there. Every sign has a dark side. But I see that I feel like there's a message of her mother getting involved, her mother having always needed a lot of attention, being manipulative, needing to have this really incredible amount of control over their lives, everything, to the point of being a bit of a dictator with this Hierophant, and especially where faith comes in, religious beliefs, because it fits into the whole need of control and attention. And that works out for this personality of her mother. I think at the end, before whatever happens to cause the death, I believe, of Tylee, she's feeling that she's very frustrated that she is not able to express or get her mother. Her mother does not want to listen to or accept her emotional outpour to her mother. And I think like mom, like, what are you doing? Is what it feels like to me. And it also could be that because of her mother's needs this way, she cuts off from everyone else's but her own emotional needs. A total narcissist who becomes just consumed with her own emotion, drunk on her own spiritual quest, zeal, craziness, this stuff. It's like she's intoxicated. It's fuel to an already problematic personality, is what I feel. And I also feel like Tylee her energy feels way more mature than her young years. It's just that I think she was also stuck. And I think she loved her mother and really wanted her mother back. And I think her mother just went off the rails here and was not somebody she was able to reach. She was not able to reach her mother emotionally. She lost that, yeah. And here we have the Eight of Cups. This is the abandonment. And the Three of Wands, where she's looking to expand her life beyond how she lived before. This is Tylee saying, she abandoned us. I feel abandoned. That she didn't want us. We were part of her past, and she just totally moved on. She cut off her emotional tie. She cut off her feelings, her emotional connection to Tylee. This is from Tylee's point of view. And wanted to live her own life and follow this fantasy that she had going with regard to her crazy spiritual beliefs. You could say mine are crazy, but I don't go around killing people and doing weird shit like that. So we're getting Tylee having a feeling of being abandoned, of her mother, of realizing that her mother wanted to pursue a life that didn't involve Tylee. And but she was not going to give up her control over their lives. Their lives were, for years, Tylee's father was trying to get custody of her. And the courts just really played Lori and got away with so much. It's just galling. Absolutely galling. She was able to get away with a lot of serious crap with all of her husbands, and her brother, crazy brother, going around threatening people, trying to kill people for her. I think she killed him. But anyway, I want to go back to Tylee here. Okay, Tylee. Talking about lying and the Seven of Swords and the High Priestess. There are lies that we don't know yet. There are further details. This rabbit hole runs deep, is what I get from Tylee's spirit and the universe here. That there are things that have not come out yet that they did. Incredibly insidious. Just all of its insidious criminality. And I think that this is also the false proclamation of being some kind of messenger, some kind of between spirit and earth. I think this goes to her mother's wacky beliefs that she had some kind of power as a god of some kind or demigod of some kind. To me, that speaks of that lie. Perhaps. Let's just see here. Queen of Swords and... Sorry, put this on. Okay, so back to this, sorry. We have the Queen of Swords and we have the Seven of Pentacles. So this is a plan. Also, she's indicating, I think, that this was a strategic plan that was secretive. I'm thinking with regard to how they took out Tammy and Charles and Alex, her brother, and the children of Tylee and JJ. She's showing to me that this was all a pretty very much premeditated crime. Very ruthless. Ten of Pentacles. It's about money and freedom. Oh, the Devil card. And power. Yeah. There's evil there. That is it's not just, well, they're really screwed up. It's evil. That's when evil has truly taken over someone's form at this point. She's pretty saturated. So this is about, for her mother And Chad, this is about money, power, the ability to control other people. If you look more closely into that lantern, you can see that there are a figure, the devil's, unfortunately, the devil's two figures that they have control over are held as captives. Now, sometimes with the devil card, that's a willing captive. Being a willing captive, somewhat to if you like something, and you know it's not good for you. But in this case, this can be also, of course, people, innocent people that get in your way, that you manipulate, use as pawns, and abuse. And Lori Vallow has certainly done that with all of her life. I mean, straight out of high school she marries and just starts going into the one marriage and divorce after another. And I guess she got tired of divorce with the how, because it's expensive and a lot of work. And I think she was ripe for getting into a cult, and that need of attention and that whole fantasy sucked her right in. And I don't think it just sucked her right in. I think she contributed to that fantasy and was writing the life, some kind of fantasy life that she wanted for her reality. And being a narcissist, I think that she was, and an annihilator, she was able to do what she's done. She's a female annihilator. She's evil. And this is all for want of power, control, and for one's own pleasure. There's a perverse pleasure taken in having control over other people and in making other people suffer. So she's saying mother was very, I'm going to say like a possessed person. Truly. And I think her narcissism, and I would love to know how she and her brother were raised, because I believe that she and her brother, I mean, it's fact, straight up killers. Why? There's something very wrong. What happened? I would love to know how they were raised, because that's just crazy shit. Okay. Nine of Wands and the Three of Cups. So, yeah, there's this end times thing. And I don't feel like their cult is very particularly large. I think it's a small ring of people, nuttier than nuts, and fueling each other's psychosis, honestly, of grandeur and their inability to distinguish reality from, and they're not crazy. They're crazy only in the sense of being disordered. They know that all that killing and stuff is wrong. Her and Chad know that. They just don't care, and they want to get away with it because they want to live this fantasy notion of life that they have. And also, this ring of believers is shrunk way down. I guess basically, I don't know, does Melanie still believe this? This was her niece. She might be one of the few left. They're killing each other off here. I have a feeling that Chad may end up accepting some kind of deal, trying to save his own skin because he's such a coward, and let Lori take the brunt of the stuff. If you notice, his kids are all still alive. None of his family, with the exception of poor Tammy, is deceased. But what does that tell you about him? You. So Tylee, straight up, I think, found her mother unreachable. I think before she was able to get through to her mother on an emotional level, but once she started up with this cult fantasy, she went off and out of reach of even Tylee. I think Tylee has been was more of an anchor to her for reality. I'm going to switch cards because these are slippery and slide. Okay. Actually, I'm going to stop there and I'm going to do another reading. Okay? So this will be part 2 for Tylee. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.